Good day everyone! Another day, another learning to come in our way. And if you so you know, this is John Harren Morada Torero, together with Miss Denise Zaldivar and Miss Kimberly Villafuerte from Camarines North State College under College of Business and Public Administration, major in Human Resource Management. Today, we're going to learn about the project communication and stakeholder management. For the overview, we're expected to know about effective communication strategies, stakeholder identification, engagement, and managing stakeholder expectations in HR projects. What is project communication and stakeholders management? Project communication is a critical aspect of project management. It encompasses various interactions including verbal, written, and nonverbal forms. It helps in ensuring that all team members are on the same page, understanding the rules and responsibilities, and working towards a common goal. Also, effective communication ensures that ideas are conveyed, shared, and addressed. For this to happen, we have some strategies and techniques for successful projects and communication and team management. First is communication strategies in project management. As you can see, here's a communication and strategies in project management. With an HR communication strategy, organizations can establish an internal brand and voice that employees recognize. It also provides a framework how, when, and how HR teams make internal announcement and communicate company news. Example of this is to say it with less and be action-oriented and use link for self-education.
Don't worry about things being perfect, because the reality is, they probably won't be. You can use productivity tips to help things go more smoothly as you begin working on your goals in earnest. But if you expect to never run into obstacles or make mistakes along the way, you're simply setting yourself up for failure. Remember to be patient, not perfect.
Team management, on the other hand, focuses on leading and coordinating the efforts of a group of individuals. In order to achieve a common goal, there are many tasks requiring multiple people, so teams are essential building block to productivity. It helps them to build an effective, thriving, and engaging team striving to achieve common goals and objectives.
Hi everyone! This is Kimberly R. Villafuerte, and I am here to present and discuss with you all my topic, which is the effective communication strategies. So what is effective communication strategies? Effective communication strategies, procedures, as well as approaches that promote a successful and open exchange of information are essential to effective communication strategies. These strategies include things like speaking concisely and clearly, paying attention to what other people are saying, giving and receiving feedback, showing empathy, and changing up your communication style to fit different situations and target audiences. By using these techniques, people can improve their comprehension, create closer bonds with others, and handle a variety of social and professional situations better. So, in the next slide, I have here the 7 effective communication strategies that will help you to better communicate with everyone. Number 1, convey important points clearly and concisely. So, avoid clutter in your messages. Choose words wisely and organize your thoughts for easy understanding. Next, use action verbs, concrete terms, and also avoid filler words. For instance, instead of saying, "Let's touch base sometime later in the week," be specific, like, "Will Thursday at 3 p.m. work to check in on this project?" Number 2, consider the best delivery method. So, modern technology offers various communication channels. Assess the situation and choose the most effective method. Email, phone calls, video conferences, or face-to-face interactions each have their strengths and weaknesses. Number 3, use multiple modes of communication. Combine verbal and nonverbal cues. Pay attention to body language, tone, and also the gestures. For written communication like emails and memos should be clear and concise, while verbal communication like meetings and also conversations can be more interactive. Number 4. Maintain tone and body language. So, be aware of how your tone affects the message. A friendly tone fosters better connections. So again, nonverbal cues matter too. Maintain eye contact, use open body language, and smile. Number 5. Acknowledge feedback. So, active listening is essential. Show that you value others' options by acknowledging their feedback. Also, ask clarifying questions and seek to understand different perspectives. Number 6. Adapt to cultural and linguistic differences. So, be sensitive to cultural norms and language variations. Adjust your communication style accordingly. Next is learn about cultural differences to avoid misunderstandings and build stronger connections. Lastly, number 7, practice empathy and emotional intelligence. Understand others' feelings and perspectives. Show empathy and respond with kindness. Also, emotional intelligence helps navigate challenging conversations and build trust. So let's move on to the next topic, which is the stakeholder identification. So what is the stakeholder identification? Stakeholder identification is the process of determining who or what kind of group participates in or influenced by a specific project, initiative, or decision is known as stakeholder identification. It involves carefully locating and evaluating people who could have an impact or be impacted by the result. Typically, this approach takes into consideration external stakeholders including suppliers, consumers, government agencies, and community groups, as well as internal stakeholders like shareholders and employees. Stakeholder engagement and decision-making are enhanced when effective stakeholder identification is used to guarantee that their points of view, worries, and interests are taken into consideration. During the course of a project or initiative, it frequently becomes an essential stage in the communication planning and stakeholder management process. So, how can we identify stakeholders? I have here the 7 strategies to identify the stakeholder. Number 1, identify affected stakeholders. So, identifying affected stakeholders involves recognizing individuals, groups, or organizations who will experience direct consequences or changes due to a particular action, decision, or project. This process requires assessing how the proposed initiative or change will impact various stakeholders, considering factors such as their interests, concerns, and roles within the context. So, by accurately identifying affected stakeholders, organizations can tailor their communication, strategies, and engagement efforts to address their specific needs and interests, ultimately fostering more successful outcomes and stakeholder buy-in. Number 2, prioritize stakeholders. So, setting priorities for stakeholders is figuring out which people, organizations, or groups are most important or influential in a certain project or environment. So, stakeholders must be evaluated during this process according to characteristics, including their degree of interest, power, trustworthiness, and possible influence on the project's outcome. So, creating stakeholder priorities allows businesses to concentrate resources and efforts on interacting with influential people and decision makers, which maximizes support and alignment in the direction of project objectives. Not all stakeholders within a group share the same concerns or priorities. Use techniques like impact zoning to map distinct groups based on impact areas. Number 3, refer past information. So, consider existing stakeholder information and past consultations. Regulatory requirements may also predetermine certain stakeholder groups. So, the act of using historical data, documents, or experiences to guide current choices, courses of action, or tactics is known as historical reference. Through this approach, people or organizations can use best practices, lessons learned, and past results to direct their current efforts. So, through the use of historical data, stakeholders can improve the efficacy and efficiency of their decision-making processes by learning important lessons, avoiding mistakes, and using successful techniques. Number 4, verify stakeholder representatives. So, to ensure that the identified representatives truly represent their stakeholder groups. So, verifying stakeholder representatives involves determining the legitimacy and power of people or organizations making claims to speak for particular stakeholders. Through this procedure, it is made sure that the parties participating in stakeholder negotiations or talks actually reflect the viewpoints and interests of the various stakeholders. Verification procedures can include speaking with stakeholders, obtaining their endorsements, or comparing information with official records. The goal is to increase legitimacy and transparency in stakeholder engagement processes. Number 5, engage with stakeholders in their communities. So, effective engagement often occurs within stakeholders' own communities. So, actively engaging with people or groups inside their own local or organizational surroundings is a necessary part of engaging with stakeholders in their communities. Through familiar ground meetings, this strategy facilitates meaningful discussion, understanding, and partnership among stakeholders. Through active community engagement, enterprises can get a greater understanding of local points of view, issues, and requirements, which can result in more specialized and successful solutions that align with the objectives and interests of stakeholders. Number 6, government as a key stakeholder. Remember that government entities are essential stakeholders. The important role that authorities play in a variety of projects, initiatives, or organizations is referred to as government as a key stakeholder. Along with providing necessities and influencing policymaking that can have an immediate effect on operations and results, governments often have regulatory authority. In order to achieve alignment with governmental aims and requirements, and ultimately, contribute to effective project implementation and sustainability, it is necessary to acknowledge government as a significant stakeholder and to interact with relevant officials, comply with regulations, and navigate legal frameworks. Lastly, number 7, recognize employees. Employees can serve as a valuable channels of communication. So, recognizing and appreciating employees' accomplishments, efforts, and contributions inside a company is part of employee recognition. Appreciation can come in a number of forms, such as verbal compliments, prizes, job advancement, or extra tasks. Organizations may create a great work environment, improve job satisfaction, and raise morale by honoring their staff. This will ultimately increase productivity while keeping more people.
Engagement in project communication and stakeholder management is the process of involving your stakeholders in the project activities and decisions, and ensuring their satisfaction and support. It involves actively involving stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle, understanding their needs and expectations, and incorporating their input into the decision-making process. Community skills are the one key aspects of engagement, including here are the vital for success, building trust, and effective communication. Understand the preferences and communication styles of different stakeholders, tailor communication message and channels to ensure that the information is delivered in a way that is meaningful and relevant to each stakeholders group. Stakeholder engagement proactive approach. Beyond technical skills, project managers must proactively seek the support of project sponsors and stakeholders. Trusted advisor. Become a trusted advisor to the project sponsor by exhibiting credibility, reliability, and consideration. Relationship building. Learn to build relationships similar to solving technical problems. It's a competency that can be acquired. No surprises. Ensure your sponsor is never surprised by promptly addressing any issues or negative perceptions surrounding the project. Group engagement strategies. They recognize the importance of discovering viable employee engagement strategies to maximize their human capital investment and turn them into higher assets for the business. We have to set a clear visions and project goals. Trust your teams with challenging assignments. Empower the team to make decisions. Regularly share progress with the team. Provide social and structural resources to support the team. Identify and remove obstacles hindering team success and show genuine appreciation for your team's work. Some of the steps to create effective engagement in project communication and stakeholder management are: identify your stakeholders, analyze your stakeholders, plan your engagement, implement your engagement, and evaluate your engagement. Creating effective engagement in project communication and stakeholder management. By following these steps and prioritizing effective communication and stakeholder engagement throughout the project life cycle, you can enhance project success and foster positive relationships with key stakeholders.
Good day everyone, my name is Zaldivar. So today, I will be discussing managing stakeholder expectations in HR projects. Managing stakeholder expectations in HR project is a vital skill for HR professionals, as it involves settings and maintaining realistic and achievable expectations for the stakeholders regarding the project scope, schedule, cost, quality, and benefits. Managing stakeholder expectation can help avoid misunderstandings, disappointments, and conflicts, and enhance the project's reputation and value. There are several strategies for managing stakeholder expectations in HR projects. Here are few key strategies. 1. Clear and transparent communication. It is essential to establish open and honest communication channel with stakeholders. Regularly communicate project updates, progress, and any changes that may impact stakeholders. This helps manage their expectations and keep them informed. 2. Stakeholder engagement. Actively involve stakeholder in the project planning and decision-making process. Seek their input, listening to their concerns, and considering their feedback. Engaging stakeholders early on increasing their understanding of the project and help align with their expectation with project goals. 3. Setting realistic expectations. Be realistic about what can be achieved within the project scope, timeline, and resources. Clearly communicate the project limitation and potential challenges to stakeholders. Setting realistic expectations helps avoid unnecessary disappointments and ensures stakeholders have a clear understanding of what to expect. 4. Managing scope creep. Scope creep refers to uncontrolled changes or additions to the project scope. It is important to manage scope creep effectively to prevent unrealistic expectations from arising. Clearly define the project scope, document any changes, and communicate the impact of scope changes to stakeholders. 5. Providing regular updates and feedback. Keep stakeholders informed about project progress, milestone achieved, and any challenges faced. Providing frequent updates through status reports, meetings, or other communication channels. Additionally, seek feedback from stakeholders to understand their expectations and address any concerns promptly. 6. Managing conflict and resolving issues. Inevitably, conflicts and issues may arise during the project. It is crucial to address this promptly and effectively. Ensure that any conflicts are involved in a fair and transparent manners, and strive to find win-win solutions that align with stakeholder expectations. Some of the steps to manage stakeholder expectations in HR projects are: define the project objectives and success criteria, identify and analyze the stakeholders, develop an expectation management plan, implement and monitor the plan, and evaluate and improve the plan. Remember, effective stakeholder expectation management requires a proactive and collaborative approach. By implementing these strategies, you can better align stakeholder expectations with project outcomes and increase the likelihood of project success. So that would be all. Again, my name is Denisa M. Zaldivar, together with Mr. Torero and Miss Kimberly Villafuerte. Thank you very much.